This smile for me, but this smile for y'all. Y'all know our complexes say a lot about us, even when we don't know it. And the reason why I say that is because a couple videos ago, and I ain't think about it until after it was finished, but then when I was led to go back and check to see what type of participation I got, I only noticed maybe 2 or 3 people at the most concerning that rainbow, concerning the rainbow emoji for the end of the month raffle, according to that particular video. So I even put my rainbow, I even put my chakra bead on to even fortify where I'm going at with this. Our complexes say a lot about us, and it made me even wonder about when I peep people complexes concerning certain things, whether it's symbols, or whatever it may be. You know, it tell me a lot about a person. You know, I say that because I noticed it wasn't a lot of rainbow emojis put in the comment section according to that video, regardless of the amount of views that the video received. And I know why, because certain colors of the rainbow has been associated with LGBTQ or whatever it is. And I love all people, you hear me? But my purpose of asking us to place a rainbow in the comment section had nothing to do with the LGBTQ community whatsoever. But I have associates, I have friends that participate. You know, I'm heterosexual. I don't participate, but I don't discriminate. I love people. So just to give those, just to remove some of the complex that those who have complexes with the rainbow, I chose to give. I'm gonna do a little 2-part reading. So the first one is rainbow. You hear me? Let me get my glasses so I can see. You heard? So I can read, rather. I can see. I just use them to read. Rainbow. Rainbow. You know. And my purpose of asking us to do the rainbow and what I was talking about in that video, because if I'm not mistaken, I went into dimensions and portals and so forth and so on. But between this environment that we in and whatever on the other side of the rainbow represents not only a covenant but a portal, you know, from long waves, if you know about electronics, long waves, and then ultraviolet. But to get from long waves to ultraviolet, if you know the science or what I'm talking about, there's a rainbow in the middle. You hear me? You can't go through that portal without passing through that spectrum. But I'm gonna read rainbow to give us a better understanding of what's going on and why I refer to that, because the rainbow do represent our chakras. You hear me? And that's the covenant within man. You know, it's symbolized outside of man, but then our energy centers carry those same colors. I am, I feel, I do, I love, I speak, I see, I know. Each one of those words got a color associated with it that's associated with each chakra. But the first reading is rainbow. Metaphysical meaning of rainbow. The rainbow as a token of a covenant between me and the earth. The rainbow is a symbol of a covenant between you and the earth, regardless of what it's been associated with. I'm gonna rewind it and let it flow. The rainbow as a token of a covenant between me and the earth. Genesis 9:13-15 involves the law of obedience. So when I ask y'all to place a rainbow in the comment section, It was you confirming the covenant between you and the earth. You hear me? And the law of obedience. The rainbow is formed of many drops of water, each of which acts as a prism, receiving and transmitting the sunlight. So that means we're radios. We receive rays, frequencies, vibrations, resonances, and we also transmit them. Each drop represents a human being and the whole race. The 7 colors of the solar spectrum are produced by different rates of vibration in a universal energy, which in its myriad activities makes the visible universe. When man is like Noah, obedient to the guidance of God, he will never be flooded by negative conditions. So as I said before, our complexes, our problems with things can tell us a lot about the problems in ourselves. You don't listen, you're going to miss it. You hear me? He will never be flooded by negative conditions. And when the whole race enters into this obedience, the perfect principles will be forever established. So if you ain't got certain principles established in you or know what you support or know what you claim you know and know it how you supposed to know it, so it don't claim you, then you might be suspect. You hear me? The rainbow is a sign of this state in which we all shall form with our obedience minds a circle of natural perfection. You hear me? The next, that cleared that up about the rainbow. You heard? For those who didn't, for those who got a complex with it. The next one was prayer. I'm gonna go into prayer. I was asked about prayer from one of the tribe members, and within the dialogue of the comments that I gave my insight on, you know, I figured I'll go ahead and bring that back to the surface of things. Prayer, communion. What is prayer? Communion between man and God. Now, it ain't for me to tell you whether you believe that exists outside of you or whether that exists within you. That's something that you're gonna have to determine yourself. But prayer is a communion between man and God. And if we is God, then what we gotta pray outside of, what we praying outside to anyway. You hear me? Communion between man and God within, all day, every day. You hear me? In true prayer, we take with us words. In true prayer, we take with us words of truth, a statement of truth, or an affirmation, and turn our attention within to the very center of our being, where the Father dwells. See, if you only pray when you pray, what are you pray to? Everything that's going on when you're not in that space of prayer is probably what you may be prey to. So be God conscious all the time, you hear me? With all things. We affirm these words of truth and meditate on them, then get very still and wait in the silence for God to make them real to us. If you got a connection to source, if you got a connection to God, if you got a connection to spirit, if you got a connection to the divine, whatever you know it as, if it's going to commune to you, it's going to commune with you, inside of you. I don't know who need to hear that. Prayer can be defined in many ways. It can be said to be the taking hold of God's willingness. Yeshua Christ forbade all prayers of doubt, but said, all things whatsoever ye pray and ask for, believe that ye receive. Believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. It's the law of attraction. Your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. If we come from God and we is God, and we come from the universe and we is part of the universe, as within, so without, as above, so below, and all that other good stuff, then I don't understand why I still such a shook tendency when certain things, when certain topics, when certain insights come to the forefront. But then I do know, once again, your complexes say a lot about you. To one in understanding of truth, prayer is an affirmation of that which is in being. Prayer is an affirmation of that which is in being. What does that mean? Prayer is an affirmation of that which is already in you. Then why the necessity of the prayer or affirmation if the desired condition already is? Those may be some questions that people have in them. In order that the creative law of the word may be fulfilled, we must pray, we must affirm, or we must attend. That's why I say things like pay attention to your intentions, because we always in a state of prayer. Even if we ain't in a state of prayer, everything I do, I ain't gonna say everything we do, because I'm conscious of my intentions and I know what I know. But I'm always in prayer all the time. I ain't gotta be like this. I ain't gotta be on my knees or perform a salat or whatever your process of prayer may be. In order that the creative law of the word may be fulfilled, we must pray. All things are in God as potentialities. So if we made in the image of God, image and likeness of God, and we know that for what it is, and we claim that for what it's worth, then all the potentialities of anything that you would like or you would desire to manifest is the potentiality for you to manifest it is already in you. So that's why it's necessary to intend, to affirm, to decree, to declare. You hear me? All things are in God as potentialities. It make me question who people really say they is. That's why I say things like we got to be who we say we are. Then you got to know what you need to know to be who you say you are. Walk with me. It is man's share in the creative process to bring the unmanifest to manifestation. Everybody should pray. Through prayer, we develop the highest phase of character, and it softens and refines the whole man. Prayer is not supplication or begging. I repeat, prayer is not supplication or begging, but a simple asking for and affirmation of that which we know is waiting for us at the hands of our Father. The prayer that Yahshua gave as a model in Luke 11, 1-4 is simplicity itself. There is in it none of that awe-inspiring, oh thou, and all that other stuff, you hear me? Which some ministers affect in public prayer, but the informal request of his sons and daughters to his Father for things needed. You hear me? Father, hallowed be thy name. Here is recognition of the all-inclusiveness and completeness of divine mind. Everything has its sustenance from this one source. Therefore, the earth is Jehovah's or Yah's or Allah's, whatever you go by, and the fullness thereof. Source God. We need supplies for the day only. Hoarding for future necessities brings selfishness. We need supplies for the day only because we only live one day. We can only live one day at a time. Yesterday gone, today here, and tomorrow ain't happened yet. You hear me? The children of Israel tried to save the manna, but it's spoiled. Greed. Stockpiling. You know. The law, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap, is his shorn of its terrors. If we forgive others, we shall be forgiven, and the penalty of suffering for sins will be eliminated. It does not seem possible that God will lead us into temptation. We tempt ourselves. In fact, in James 1:13, we are told plainly that God cannot be tempted. You hear me? God cannot be tempted of evil, and that he tempts no man. We tempt ourselves according to our own lust, desires, so forth and so on. Gluttons. Y'all get it? This clause in the Lord's Prayer, and bring us not into temptation, follows closely that concerning the forgiveness of sin or error. And it is evidently a part of it. Let not temptation lead us is a permissible interpretation. Yahshua advised asking for what we want and being steadfast in our demands. That means you can't doubt. You got to be stable. Faith, belief. People ignorant of the relation in which man stands to God. I repeat, people ignorant of the relation in which man stands to God wonder why we should ask and even are importune a Father who has provided all things for us. This is explained when we perceive that God is a great reservoir of mind that has to be tapped by man's mind. God is a great reservoir of mind that has to be tapped by your mind. And through this thought or word poured into visibility. So if you got God in you, people should be able to see it. People should be able to feel it. People should be able to hear it. You hear me? If the mind of man is clogged with doubt, lethargy, or fear, he must, through his faithful knocking and asking, open the way. We should pray without ceasing. We should continue steadfastly in prayer. We should acquire in prayer a facility in asking equal to the expert mathematicians' swiftness in handling numbers. Having done that, we shall get responses in like proportion. You can't get what you don't put out. We give our children what we consider good gifts from our limited and transitory store. We give our children good gifts from our limited and transitory store. But when the gifts of God are put into our mind, we have possessions that are eternal, that will go on producing for all times. I hope this message presented some clarity. You hear me? It's okay to laugh at yourself. You hear me? But it's even more better to examine your complexity and wonder why you got a complex with it. You hear me? Whatever it may be. You heard? The nice emoji gonna be a laughing face. You can do the side one. You can do the straight up one. Any one of the laughing faces, just put a laughing face, because it's okay to laugh at ourselves sometimes. You hear me? And if you're growing, you're able to laugh at yourself. But that's gonna conclude tonight's reading, family. It's late. I'm hungry than a polar bear and drought. You hear me? So I'm about to get some sustenance for myself via some food, some physical food. You heard? And I hope y'all appreciate the spiritual food that I have shared for the night. But the night's emoji will be a laughing emoji. You hear me? Whichever one you choose. Other than that, thanks for the likes, thanks for the shares, thanks for the new subscribers. I see y'all. Salute and welcome to the family. Thanks for the peekaboos that pass by. Thanks for the trolls. Thanks for it all. Cause everybody count. You hear me? We all part of the rainbow. The nice emoji once again is the laughing emoji. Place it in the comment section for your raffle submission. Simple as that. Remember to feel good for no reason at all. Feeling good is feeling God. You hear me? It's a divine birthright, and I can't do it for you. It's gonna take you to do it. You know, in that I am that I am. In all that was, all that is, and all that will ever be. My name is Sabu the God. You know, love and love. I love y'all, family. Peace.